San Francisco is a board game by Reiner Knizia for 2 to 4 players, in which you will rebuild the eponymous California city. In the San Francisco game box, you will find 4 city boards, 1 for each player, 1 project board, 87 project cards, 6 bonus cards, 3 cards in each of 2 types, 1 scoring board, and 23 point tokens, including 18 advantage tokens and 5 district completion tokens. There are also 12 contract tokens, 12 bonus tokens, 3 of each of 4 types, 10 foundation tokens, and 1 Master Builder's Medal token. There are also 28 cable car markers, as well as 9 skyscrapers, to be assembled before the first game begins. Let's move on then to setting up San Francisco. Place the scoring board in the center of the table and the project board below it. On the scoring board, place 5 district completion tokens on the far left spaces, matching them by color to the spaces. On the circular spaces to the right, lay out the corresponding colors of advantage tokens. Depending on the number of players, place a different number of them. In a 4-player game, place all the advantage tokens. In a 3-player game, do not place the tokens with a value of -1. And in a 2-player game, do not place the tokens with a value of 1 and -1. Put the unused tokens in a 2- and 3-player game in the box. You will not need them anymore. Place the bonus tokens and bonus cards on the right side of the scoring board. Place foundation tokens on the project board, 2 tokens on each space depending on the number of players. In a 2-player game, place 3 stacks of 2 tokens each. With 3 players, prepare 4 stacks, that is a total of 8 tokens. And when preparing a 4-player game, place all 10 tokens, 2 on each of the board's 5 spaces. Shuffle the project cards and place the face-down deck next to the project board. Now each player takes 1 city board and places it in front of them. Place the skyscrapers, cable car markers, contract tokens and the Master Builder's Medal token on the table where everyone can reach them. You are now ready to play. Here is how. In the game of San Francisco, after the first player is selected, players take turns in clockwise order. In their turn, a player must do one of 2 actions: place a project or finalize a project. If you decide to place a project, you take the top project card from the deck next to the project board and place it face up on one of the 3 available spaces below this board. If the card has this symbol, you take the top foundation token from the leftmost pile on the project board and place it on the card. The other action you can do in your turn is to finalize a project. In this case, you choose 1 column under the project board and take all the cards there. Each time you take project cards, regardless of how many, you must also take 1 contract token. But there is a requirement to do this action. You can only do this action if you have fewer contract tokens than the number of project cards you take from that column. So if you have 2 contract tokens, you will be able to do the Finalize a Project action only if you take at least 3 cards from 1 column. After you take the cards, you can place them on spaces on your city board in any order. If you can't or don't want to place a particular card, discard it to the box. Now learn the building rules, that is placing project cards on the appropriate spaces on your city board. Your city board has 5 rows in 5 different colors. Each row has 5 spaces. Once any player fills all their spaces, the game ends. You have to place each project card on the leftmost empty space in the row with that card's color. The concept of adjacency is important. If 2 cards touch by sides, they are adjacent. Cards that touch by corners are not adjacent. Thus, the orange card is adjacent to the previous orange card from the same row horizontally and vertically to the yellow card lying below. On the other hand, it is not adjacent to the first yellow card, which touches it diagonally, or to the grey card diagonally above it. Let's see an example of finalizing a project. I have one contract token, so I could take 2 cards from the first or third columns under the project board. After selecting a column, I take all its cards and a contract token. Now I have 2 contract tokens, and then I place both project cards on my city board on the leftmost empty spaces in the rows with the cards' colours. Importantly, whenever all players each have at least 1 contract token, each player discards 1 contract token. There are 6 different colours of project cards in San Francisco, as can be seen on the left side of the card. 5 colours match the colours of rows on the players' city boards. The 6th colour is black. Black cards are universal and can be placed on any row. Some project cards have a builder symbol. The number of builder symbols on the card is its value. This card has 3 symbols, so its value is 3. City square cards also have builder symbols that determine their value, but the cable car symbol above it means that such a card will have value only if it is adjacent to at least 1 card that is part of a cable car network. Otherwise, its value is 0. Since I've already mentioned cable car networks, let's see how you can build them and learn about cards with cable car tracks and depots. You can connect project cards with printed cable car tracks to each other on the city board, thus creating cable car networks. In order for a card to be part of such a network, you must place it on the board adjacent to a cable car depot that is printed at the bottom of the city board, or adjacent to another card that is already part of your cable car network and has a cable car marker on it. When you place a project card with tracks that are a part of a cable car line, place a cable car marker on that card, making it easier for you to see which card on your city board are part of your cable car line. Let's see an example. I place a card with tracks in my green district, adjacent to the depot at the bottom of my city board. I place a cable car marker on this card. I then place another card in the yellow district above, which is vertically adjacent to the previously placed card. I place another cable car marker, and in this way I expand the cable car network on my city board. In the yellow row to the left of the yellow card I just added, there was already another card with tracks, which was not in the network because it did not connect to a depot or any other cable car card. But now it is adjacent to the new yellow card and becomes part of my cable car line, so I put a cable car marker on this card too. Another type of project card in San Francisco is foundation cards. When you take a foundation card from below the project board, you also take the foundation token lying on it and place it on your city board, according to the building rule that is matching the color of the card to the color of the row on your city board. Later, you may build a skyscraper on a foundation card on your city board. However, this is possible only when the total value of its adjacent project cards is 7 or more. When this condition is met, you immediately place a skyscraper on the foundation, taking it from the general pool. Each skyscraper built is worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. On one foundation card, there can be only 1 skyscraper. Whoever first builds a skyscraper receives the Master Builder's Medal, which is worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. If during the game any player builds more skyscrapers in their own city, they take the Master Builder's Medal. Let's see an example of skyscrapers. I place a card with a foundation token on my city board. The total value of its adjacent project cards is currently 4, so I can't build a skyscraper yet. However, by adding another project card with a value of 3 adjacent to this foundation card, I meet the requirement and can place a skyscraper on this foundation card. Another type of card is seaside. They help make it easier to build skyscrapers. Each seaside card on your city board lowers the required construction value of each skyscraper by 1. So, for example, if I have 2 seaside cards on my city board, then I can build a skyscraper when the sum of the values of the adjacent foundation project cards is only 5 instead of 7, because each seaside card lowers the requirement by 1. There are bonus symbols on some project cards. When you place a second project card with a bonus symbol on the same row, you can immediately take the bonus token corresponding to the color of the row from the scoring board. You can take a bonus only once per row. Each row on the city board, that is each district, has a different specific token or bonus card. These tokens and cards are on the right side of the scoring board, and each row has 3 of them. When a row runs out, you can no longer collect them. When you take this bonus token, you put it on any project card on your city board. It increases the project's value by 2. This bonus is a universal project card with value 4. When you take it, you can place it on any row of your city board. This bonus is another universal project card with a cable car depot. You can place it on any row and then place a cable car marker on it. This bonus simply gives you 1.5 victory points at the end of the game. The bonus from the green district lets you discard up to 2 contract tokens at any time during the game. When you do this, discard the bonus token into the box, as you can only use it once. The last bonus token is the cable car tracks. This bonus is not associated with any specific district. You can choose it instead of another bonus assigned to a district. It lets you place cable car tracks on any project card on your city board. If that card is adjacent to a card with a cable car marker or a depot, then that card joins your cable car network and you place a cable car marker on it. The player who first places all 5 project cards on a given row of their city board, finishing an entire district, takes the district completion token of the corresponding color from the scoring board and places it to the right of their city board. These tokens each give 1 victory point at the end of the game. The game of San Francisco ends immediately in 2 cases. When the last foundation token from the project board is placed on a project card, or when any player fills their city board completely with project cards. Once either condition is met, the game immediately ends, and players count their scores. Let's see how to score. Players add up all their points, including 1 point for each skyscraper built, 1 point for the Master Builder's Medal, 1.5 points for a bonus token, 1 point for each district completion token. In addition, at the end of the game, players can receive advantage points for each district, taking the corresponding advantage tokens from the scoring board. Add up each player's card values in a row and compare them. In a 4-player game, the player with the highest value in a given district gets a token worth 2 victory points. The player in second place gets a token worth 1 point. The player in third place scores 0. And the player in last place, with the lowest value in a row, gets a token worth -1 victory point. In a 3-player game, the player with the highest value in a district gets a token worth 2 victory points. and the second-place player gets a token worth 1 point. In a 2-player game, only one player gets a token, 2 victory points for first place. Players add their advantage points from each district to their total victory points. Then players get advantage tokens for their cable car networks. Players count how many cable car markers are on each city board. Award advantage tokens according to the table you now see on the screen. Players add their advantage points from cable car networks to their total victory points. The winner is whoever has the most victory points. In case of a tie, the player with the most cable car markers on their city board wins. If there is still a tie for victory, the tied players share their victory. In case of a tie when calculating advantage points for a district, the tied players compare the values of their leftmost cards in that district. If there is still a tie, compare the next cards. The player with the higher value card wins the tie. If you are tied on scoring for cable car markers, the tied players compare their numbers of cable car markers in the leftmost column of their city boards. As with district scoring, if there is still a tie, compare the number of cable car markers in the next column. If after comparisons you still could not determine a winner, the advantage goes to the tied player who triggered the end of the game. If this player, however, was not one of the tiebreakers, the tied player sitting closest on their left wins the advantage. Thank you for watching this video. You can find a detailed table of contents and index in the description below the video. I encourage you to use it if you need to find a specific section of the rules easily and quickly. Now I wish you an enjoyable game and good city planning.